Bonjour, salut, hello. I'm Mark Fraley, and I have just completed a series of sketchbooks related to my kids, Greta, Sebastian, and Xavier. I did them in the Stillman and Burns series. This is the Zeta series, my favorite. And I'm going to do a sketch tour, which just means I'm going to walk through these drawings and go ahead and share the process, what I think is important, and hopefully share some tips that you may include in what you want to create or help you gather some ideas. So I invite you to join me. Thanks again. This is my daughter, Greta. Hi, Greta.
Hey.
Hey, and your sketchbook is right inside of here, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to go through it, and you get to see kind of what's inside. Awesome. Let's do it. This is my daughter Greta's sketchbook here. Again, it's Stillman and Burns Zeta series is what I've used. I love the paper. So we begin here. Greta expectations. She had drawn all these colors in colored pencil, and I thought, hey, that's a cool way to start right here. The first page is always one of the trickiest. Actually, if you see, I kind of skipped over this and did this afterwards. And so I jump into the second page, and call that my first page. And this is a picture of her sleeping when we were in Albania, and I just like just kind of the feel of that. This is a picture of her actually from a few years back, but she had made a Lego, wanted to keep it, but it happened to be a Lego she had made at church, and she had to leave it there. So she made this face like, please, Dad, I want to keep it. So I drew this from a picture here. Here's another one. This is kind of just a description of when she gets frustrated sometimes and just kind of that look on her face. And so it's just something characteristic of her. I love her and just all her little expressions. So here's one when she was in Albania and she broke her arm on the first day we arrived there. We didn't know anybody. We were brand new there. We didn't speak the language. And it's just a crazy thing. And through that adventure, we just learned a lot. And she was very resilient. So we even made it to the beach. With her cast on, we originally had a plastic bag over it, but that didn't last too long, so there it is. Here's a page she did as well. So my sketchbooks are always open books. I want my kids to kind of participate in them, so these are some of her drawings in there. Here's a watercolor I made of her, kind of a more serious approach to it, and I'm always just playing with different strokes and splatter and things like that. So this is a little bit on the experimental side, but always fun to do. This is a pastel I had done, another sleeping one here. And just the thought of, our creativity really never dies or stops. It continues even when we sleep. So it's just something to think about. Here's one I wanted to make kind of in a rainbow fashion. So I thought about several different ways of doing that. And this is how it finally came out. She had asked me to draw a rainbow, so this was my version of drawing a rainbow. Here's an expression of when she tried a sour cherry. We were living in Albania there, so those were pretty common there, and she picked one out of the courtyard we were living at right down below, and those expressions were pretty cool. Mount Bagaggio. We had quite a few suitcases on our way back to the States. So this was drawn from a picture I had taken, and we just felt like, whoa, I'm just glad we made it through the airport. Here's the one on our last flight before arriving to Denver. Yeah, we were tired. So this is one drawn in colored pencils, again, a little bit experimental and just having fun with it. So here's one with our cousin's dog, and we've always loved animals in our family, but we've not always been able to have a dog in our family. So whenever we see a dog, we squeeze it and want to keep it. So this was her expression on it. This one was drawn because there was just a little bit of a different angle that I like to capture, and I like the feel of the of the hair and what her hands are doing and looking outward. And so I tied into a poem along with it. I felt like it kind of approached what the drawing was wanting to convey too. And so, How to Triumph Like a Girl by Ada Limon. Reading at the Flying M with her brothers. So she's holding a drink there and just reading. This was experimental too, so just kind of playing around with that. Here's another one. Planning for her birthday. So this was kind of fun to do. We always do games for birthdays, so we wrote those down, and then I did kind of a pen thing with the cupcakes. Here's one that just kind of stands alone. Just a fun little drawing. I love pen and ink and just kind of keep going back to it. This one I do kind of a blue wash in it. One of those expressions, I think this was either from Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, and just waiting around, you know. Sometimes those things take a long time. Basketball, basketball, basketball. We love basketball in our family. Walking at the sand dunes. This is just kind of a cool posture one that I love capturing different expressions. So there's another one. Playful one here in colored pencil. Here's more of a summer one. Eating an ice cone. And this is one of my favorite ones here in pencil. So she had her 2 front teeth fall out, and they stayed out no teeth came in for quite a while. So she had this fun grin on her face for a number of months. And finally, the final drawing in here, and paired it with another poem that I just really loved, Instructions on Not Giving Up by Ada Limon. And again, that look, the eyes looking outward, and just wanted to get some of the details of the face. And here we are, the final page. So this is one of her drawings from a long time ago. Just little collections. And that is it. Greta, do you have a favorite drawing in here? Which one do you like?
The Lego one.
The Lego one here? Oh yeah, you wish you still had that Lego right there. Awesome. So that's it for Greta's book.